Welcome back, you filthy exiles. We got some news today. Finally, I think there was a bit of stigma maybe for the last month or so where we weren't getting very many updates, and I feel like we're past that point now. So we're getting some information about what's happening with the league for 3.26, and also what's happening with Path of Exile 2. So obviously there's the delay until 6th, I think, of December. But anyway, so what is happening with Path of Exile 1? Well, it looks like there's a delay to the league as well. But let's dig into the timeline that they provided today and talk about it and how I feel about it. A bit of an overall. I'm impartial to it. I think it's okay what they're offering as an intermediate. But anyway, let's get into the video. Okay, so in front of me we have the expansion timeline that they've presented. So this came out today as part of their Twitter post that they put out. So now that they've announced the early access for Path of Exile 2, and I feel like they were waiting on that for a little while before they wanted to talk about this, they're basically going into an update for the timeline for Path of Exile 1. Now, obviously, for anyone who doesn't know, Path of Exile 1 will be continuing the same way as it always has been, in unison with Path of Exile 2. So regardless of PoE 2 coming out, you'll get access to Path of Exile 1. And I actually like what they're doing here. I think this is perfectly okay because we're all going to be focused on Path of Exile 1, or sorry, number 2. So we're not going to get a new league until January. So basically it's saying Path of Exile 1 has received 2 expansions this year with the ongoing Settlers of Kalgur, and obviously they're banking on that's the biggest expansion for some time. And so basically they're saying it's the most, essentially the most successful league ever. But despite the delay in the launch for Path of Exile 2 to early access this year, it is important of a milestone for them, and they're working hard to make that happen. Obviously, there's complications now that we know with like back-end stuff around account migration and MTX and stuff like that. So, arguably they're going to be putting a lot of resources towards that. Now, after many internal discussions that go no further, they're basically saying that there will not be a 3.26 expansion for Path of Exile 1 this year, and they're looking to announce this new league in early 2025, late January. So we're basically like, what's this? We're in, October, or we're in November, December. So basically the span of what a normal league would be. That's more or less the timeline that we're looking at now. So it's going to be, a 6-month league basically for 3.25. But they're saying that it's flexible and that may change. So it's not a definite, but it's most likely that's going to be the case. And arguably they're probably going to, personally, I think they're going to push it to February, which would make more sense because Path of Exile 2, they're going to gauge to see how popular it is. And if they see a huge dip in the player base in Path of Exile 1, they're probably going to sit on it for a little bit longer and allocate more resources to Path of Exile 2. That's the feel that I would have, and if I was in charge of it, that's probably what I would do. So anyway, okay, join Settlers of Kalgur event on November 7th. So on November the 7th, they're launching a fresh version of Settlers of Kalgur with a twist that would run in parallel with the ongoing Settlers League, right? So they're basically just having a second reset of the league, right? Within the same league cycle. So they're just going, boop, reset league. But it looks like they're adding the Lantern back in from the Necropolis League. So to brighten up the wait, so by participating in this event, you'll get, what looks like the standard stash or the standard rewards mystery box for the accounts if you get over level 50, and then they'll probably have a series of challenges beyond that point. I've also edited it to include solo, self-earn, and hardcore leagues, so it's just like every league being reset. In the event, monsters in the area are affected by a pool of mods which you'll be able to manipulate upon entering the area, just like in Necropolis League. So, but unlike Necropolis League, these mods will only be rewarding, like this in the example. So, alright, so they're not the crap mods, they're the cool mods. So basically, it's an endorphin mini league or an endorphin reset league where we're going to get a lot more advantage from the mods hitting the maps, and that's going to make us happy because, we get stuff, and that, I guess that's cool at the end of the day. But look, I don't think this is a negative thing. Actually, I think I'll be on League then as well, so there you go. I don't think this is a negative thing at the end of the day. I would prefer them to focus on Path of Exile 2 because we've been waiting for so long. Let's be real, we all sort of knew they were going to delay the Path of Exile 1 League because that's not going to be their ultimate priority. And this is a pretty, from their end of things, this is probably pretty easy to pull off because, the last league is still really fresh. Obviously, the current league is fresh, and it's just literally resetting the league, which is like a private league scenario for them. So it's a very low impact, low effort reset. Is it going to be fun? Yeah, I reckon this will be fun. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to do a curation for this as well. So builds that were really good this league, let's put it into a list and give you guys some ideas on what you can do the mid-league start on, which sounds stupid, but it's going to be a first. But look, one of the issues a lot of us are having right now is, what the hell do you do? You're looking at like Diablo 4. I don't really want to play Diablo 4 again. I didn't think the expansion was anything to note or rave about. There are tons of other games out there, but I don't really want to play them. Like, there's 1,000 videos of Space Marine 2 on. I love Warhammer, but I like painting it. Playing it's a different thing. It's an awesome game, but I'm just not compelled. So I'm probably going to jump back into Path of Exile's second league within the same league, 3.25.5, let's call it that. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's a bad idea adding this in. I think this will keep us happy, and it'll be a quicker to progress in league. It's still going to be basically the same duration of a normal league anyway. But, it'll be a bit of fun in between. It's a good reset. All right, so yeah, overall, I don't think this is a bad move. I think this is a good move. I think this is going to allow us the time we want to absorb Path of Exile 2 for what it is. And also get into some Path of Exile 1 while waiting for Path of Exile 2, considering it's been delayed. This is a good trade-off as an intermediate, and I'm probably still going to take my 2 weeks off, so I'll just be playing the new league until Path of Exile 2 comes out, or the new semi-league before Path of Exile 2 comes out. But yeah, anyway, not negative to this, think it's the right call at the end of the day, and yeah. Now, if you're wondering about the mustache, I am doing Movember. There'll be a link I'll put up on the channel probably in the next day for that. And anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to like and sub to the channel. Definitely want to do some more update stuff on Path of Exile 2 because we're starting to get trickle-fed information for that, and some of the skills like the laser beam skill that I saw today on Twitter or X looks freaking awesome. Anyway, I'll see you guys later, and have a good one.